Hello, tripmates. We're going from Orlando, Florida, through Detroit, all the way to Tokyo, Japan, by overflying the great state of Alaska. Once I arrived at Tokyo, I took my JR Pass email to the JR ticket office to get my JR Pass ticket. Then over to the ATM machine to get some yen so I could purchase the Welcome Suica Card, which I was going to use on the subway and local transportation. Okay, so I got my Suica Card. Now I'm waiting for the monorail to take me to downtown Tokyo so I can find the Tokyo Hilton. I used the Suica Card to get the monorail and then the subway to get to the hotel because my JR Pass wasn't going to start until the next day because it was for 7 days and I want to make sure I got the most of it. I completely forgot to get a SIM card at the airport, which is the best place to get a SIM card, or a Wi-Fi pack, which they call a pocket Wi-Fi. But I used the Verizon Travel Pass, which is $10 a day, so I could make sure I got Google Maps, which is extremely helpful throughout the entire trip. After spending the first night at the Hilton Tokyo, I went and walked around the city to see Godzilla, King Kong, and a few local attractions. I hope you'll check out the video that I made on the Hilton Tokyo. And, like all my videos, if you like it and find it entertaining, please smash that like button and hit subscribe. That'll help my channel a lot. Thank you. Waiting for the board to change so I can see where I'm supposed to go. I'm looking for the Hikari line at 12:10. Here we go. Yes, it goes to Kyoto. Track 24. Okay, on the ticket it says car 8, seat 16B. That's car 8, track 24. Since I was going to be on the train for about 3 hours, I heard a lot about these bento boxes. I decided to pick one up and they were fantastic.
Kyoto is arriving at track number 24. Please stay behind the yellow line. Non-reserved seats are available in count number 1.
My JR Pass included seats for the green car, which is the first class style of travel. They were very comfortable, had fold-down trays, they reclined, and there was even electrical sockets where I could use my USB plug to charge my phones. This video is actually going to highlight the train travel that I used on my 7-day Japan Rail Pass. I will have some highlights of some of the areas I went to, like Nagasaki, Hiroshima, Kyoto, Lake Kawaguchi and Mount Fuji, a little bit of Tokyo, and then Aomori, and then back to the Haneda Airport. I'll have videos on each of those stops in my upcoming videos, so I hope you subscribe. These bullet trains are great. They're extremely comfortable. There's plenty of room for luggage up top. If you have extra big luggage, there's a luggage rack for that as well. And there's plenty of bathrooms on board. Most of the trains on Shinkansen line, except for Hayabusa, have smoking rooms on board that don't even smell like smoke. Welcome to Kyoto, Japan. Okay, this is where I use my Suica card to get on the subway to the Hilton Garden Inn, Kyoto. I only had to go one stop from Kyoto Station to Goji Station on the subway. Glad I used my Suica card. And I've arrived. Time for happy hour too. Good morning from Kyoto, Japan. I'm leaving the Hilton Garden Inn at 6:30 in the morning and heading to Nagasaki on the bullet train. Breakfast didn't start till 7, so I gotta stop at McDonald's. Oh well. We'll see how Japanese McDonald's is. It was about a 20-minute walk from the Hilton Garden Inn, and I walked by this beautiful temple and took quite a few pictures and even saw some great views of the Kyoto Tower. Welcome to the Kyoto train station. This place is mobbed. Because of the time of day I left, I had to catch one local train, which was covered by the JR Pass because it's still a JR train, to Osaka. And from Osaka, I got on the bullet train and started the rest of my journey toward Nagasaki. Didn't work. Gotta go here. Each of the trains on this line had at least 2 vending machines for drinks. Just happened to look out the window and saw a beautiful view of a part of Hiroshima. I'll be back. These payphones on board didn't work anymore, but the trains were super fast. That's where I am, Shintosu Station. On my way to Nagasaki, the adventure continues. Taking the relay, Aomori number 21 at 11:21. Track 2, 8 cars. I got car 1. I had to take another local train, also covered by the JR Pass, before I got back on the Shinkansen bullet train to Nagasaki. Well, I made it to Nagasaki. Took about 6 hours from the time I left the hotel. That's walking to the train station and making the changes and all that. Not bad. Even Google Maps makes mistakes. I got on this tram and it was the wrong one, so I had to get off and get on the next tram. Hey, I'm in Nagasaki, Japan, about to enter Peace Park Memorial to all the victims of the bombing in 1945. These are remnants of actual caves that were used to protect the locals from bombings. These are remnants of a prison that stood here very close to Ground Zero the day the atomic bomb hit. The church here was actually rebuilt because it was completely destroyed during the bombing. This monument here identifies Ground Zero. I got on an old tram going in the right direction this time, and the tram is not covered by the JR Pass, but you use a Suica card to get on board. I got hooked on the teriyaki filet. All these tickets were in Japanese. Thank you, Google Translator. You sure helped out a lot. This sure is a cool compartment. Reminds me of the train travel that it would have been like years ago. Although it does change to English if you're patient. Change back. This is where the air conditioning comes from. Welcome to the Hiroshima train station. Here I'm going to walk from the train station to the Hiroshima Hilton Hotel. Wasn't a bad walk at all, maybe 25 minutes, and it was dark, and some of the paths were dark, but they sure were decorated for Christmas. It's a very nice feeling. Be sure to check out my video that's upcoming on the Hilton Hiroshima. Great room, great hotel, awesome food, and amazing views. Well, I just dropped my bags off at the Hiroshima Hilton. I'm going to take a walk to the Peace Memorial. Welcome to Hiroshima. Konnichiwa. A lot of interesting memorials placed along the banks of this river on the way to the Atomic Bomb Dome and Peace Park. Maybe take a ferry ride on the next trip. I noticed a lot of offerings left at a lot of these monuments. Some sort of gathering at that Mahatma Gandhi Memorial. I think I'm gonna go strike the bell. I'm at the Hiroshima station looking for the JR line Shinkansen for my JR pass. Going back to Kyoto today. And I believe right here is where I got to get my reservation. Let's give it a shot. Okay, I don't just look for the JR lines, I have to look for the Shinkansen line. And it was right next door to the ticket center that had long queues, long lines, but they go fast. Very helpful. It's also very helpful to take a picture of the timetable that you want to show it to the guy to help him become a language barrier. Let's go. Back to Kyoto. Okay, Hiroshima to Shinosaka on the Sakura 554, car number 6, seat number 14C. They didn't have any windows available, so it's an aisle. Just look up here, the Sakura 554, 1433, track number 14. Just bought this coffee. It's hot. And it is good. If you want to walk from the Kyoto station to the Hilton Garden Inn, you got to make sure you take the central exit. That's what I'm doing right now. If you want to take the train, you need to follow the line for the Karasuma subway line. Walking takes you about 25 minutes. Google Maps says 30. But I did it this morning in about 20. Or the other day in about 20. Your choice. Nice view of the Kyoto town. Kyoto train station. I decided to walk from the train station back to the hotel, drop off my bags, and then take a beautiful walk around some of the beautiful sights of Kyoto. Even though last night's walk was pretty amazing, I kind of got lost a few times, so I decided to go back to that area in the daytime and spend the day in Kyoto and see as much of the Geisha district, which is called the Gion district, as possible. This here is the Saka Shinto temple. Well, no matter which path you take, you're gonna find something beautiful here. Amazing. Spent a lot of time at the Kiyomutsu-dera temple and had some amazing views of downtown Kyoto. There's the Kyoto Tower. This is an absolutely beautiful area you must visit. The temple wasn't the only thing that was beautiful. There were so many people that were dressed up in kimonos and parasols. It was just very traditionally Japanese. I loved it. I especially love seeing all of the local culture, the architecture, and people being natural. It was awesome. I saw the Guanyin statue from afar. They had no idea what it was. So I went into the Ryozan Cannon Temple and I loved it. Okay, for 300 yen, I get this incense stick and I burn inside the monument, the Ryozan Cannon. Then I came across the beautiful Hokkanji Temple that I took a beautiful picture of last night. I had an amazing self-tour of the Gion area, and I had a very restful night at the hotel and decided to get back on the road and head back to Tokyo towards Mount Fuji area and Lake Kawaguchi. If you're going to walk from the Hilton Garden Inn to the Kyoto train station, which I recommend because by the time you take the subway, which takes you deep into the station and walk to where you need to go to, you're going to be walking the same amount of time, so save the money on your Suica Card. And I highly recommend taking the right side, Karamusa Dori, which is the street, because this temple here in front of the Kyoto Tower has very nice paved walkways compared to the other side of the street, where there's a lot of intersections and crosswalks with stoplights. Anyway, I would stay on the right side from Hilton Garden Inn to the Kyoto station and get some exercise getting those steps on to Tokyo. Okay, I had to pass on the rail museum because of the lines here today. It's a Saturday, I guess that's why, but I get the Akari 504 at 1108. It's at track 11. I am, let's see, where am I? Car 8, seat 2D, so it should be on the Mount Fuji side. If I can see it today, it's cloudy. On the window, in the green car. Okay, I'm heading to track 11 for my train to Tokyo. I just bought another bento box. Couldn't really tell what it was because it was in all Japanese. But check the expiration date and we're good there. But I also got looked like a ham and egg sandwich. I'll show it to you on the train. I got that just in case I didn't like what the bento box was because I couldn't tell what it was. Just looked good. So if you don't have a reservation, you can just get on any train. You have to look at the sign, and as it changed back to Japanese, look earlier in this video, and you can see that certain cars were non-reserved, which you can take even if you have the green pass. It will be a green car. It won't be a green car first class, but it'll be a standard class. They're pretty cool too. Well, I'm back on the train, heading towards Lake Kawaguchi in the Mount Fuji area. And I wanted to dig into this bento box that I purchased. And since it was all in Japanese, I used Google Translator to tell me that it was a braised pork belly. Had a couple of eggs on it, chopsticks. It was very delicious. They even gave me a handy napkin. I'm gonna have to come back and watch this video again just so I can see what the name of that bento box was. Braised pork belly, and it had 2 hard-boiled eggs. It looked like soft-boiled eggs. They were delicious. I could definitely eat that again. Okay, one of my favorite forms of travel, right here, riding the rails. Whether Europe, Japan, anywhere. Love it. Okay, when you take the Mount Fuji Express, you're going to change trains at the Atsuki station, and there you're going to have to get another ticket to go to Lake Kawaguchi. And it is covered by the Suica Card. Awesome.
4号車から12号車は天山、山梨市、伊沢温泉。
Welcome to Lake Kawaguchi Station. There's Mount Fuji.
Fuji Thomas Land Station. Track number 1. The next station is Fuji Thomas.
Lots of buses everywhere, but I don't really know where I want to go, so I'm just gonna walk around for a bit. Maybe I should first check to see what time I need to get back. I don't need to get back, but I'm just gonna go for a walk. That's how I do it. Wish me luck. Hey, I'm here at Kawaguchiko train station near Mount Fuji. You can see in the background there. And I'm gonna head off exploring. I see lots of buses going everywhere, but I'm just gonna risk it and take a walk. Hopefully I don't get lost. We'll see. Let's check out this area information map. That's where I am. Sightseeing boat. The panoramic ropeway. Mount Fuji panoramic ropeway. I've heard of that. I think I'll try that. The line for the ropeway was more than an hour. I decided to do what I normally do and just walk around the city. It's like a nice shrine built into the side of the hill. Sure is beautiful here. I don't see Mount Fuji. Fishing on Lake Kawaguchiko. Cool. Long bridge. Let's go around the other end of the lake. Maybe I'll get a view of Fuji from there. A different view, different side of the lake. Looks like lava rock. Must be, because Fuji is a volcano. Kind of reminds me of Hawaii. But uh-oh. That doesn't remind me of Hawaii. Look at that snow. Wow. Well, walking around the lake sure gave me a great view of Mount Fuji. Now I just had to go back to the train station, get my add-on ticket back to Otsuki, and then the JR Pass would kick in again to Tokyo. Unfortunately, standing room only on the first part of the trip. Then once a train stopped in Otsuki, I realized that the trains were connecting and they were going to add more cars. And unlike some people, I got off the standing room only car, walked over and found myself a beautiful seat on the regular train. Okay, the express train was completely packed. Stood up for an hour. This train connected to it, so there should be a green car. That is car number 9. And I didn't have a seat reservation because you can't get that in Kawaguchiko because that's not part of Japan Rail. But I asked one of the ladies on the platform that worked there. She said rows 2 and 7 were available in car 9. So there we go. Let's give it a shot. The adventure continues. So we took this Fuji Express from Kawaguchiko back to Shinjuku, and you were in a standing room only situation where there were no seats available. When the train gets to Otsuku, or Otsuki they call it, they're going to attach another several cars. So there'll be a green car in that one and several standard cars that will have plenty of seat reservations, or plenty of seats available. And looking at the red and green lights, red means no one's reserved a seat, Green means businesses. Yellow means someone will be getting in there soon. Okay, no more standing.
Passengers changing to Aomori Line, Nambu Line, and the Tower monorail, please transfer at this station.
It was pretty cool pulling back into Tokyo Shinjuku Station at night. I'm just gonna get a great night's sleep at the hotel and then head off to Aomori up north. This is my first time on the Shinkansen Hayabusa train. That's the one that takes you up to Aomori and north. Absolutely beautiful train with a very clean bathroom. Have to have the obligatory train bathroom photo. Also, there are no smoking cars available on the Hayabusa. Just so you know. It is sure looking cold out there. I'm glad the Verizon Travel Pass was working fantastic so I could get the weather and was prepared. Even though I was prepared, I was still freezing. Aomori is at the very northern tip of Honshu Island, the main island of Japan. I read that this is like the snowiest place in Japan. It's like a nice looking terminal. There's an exit sign. I also think I read it was the Big Apple of Japan. Let's look at this. Hey, I'm in Aomori, Japan, and it's snowing. I'm loving it. Beautiful. It's like a Christmas tree. Merry Christmas. Let's go into the city of Aomori from the train station. Soju Line, track number 1 for Aomori. I guess it'll be track 2 on the way back. I'm glad the heater on the train was working fine. Aomori train station. Aomori train station. About a 10-minute ride. Not even. From Shinomori. The things I had to do to get to this sign. Cold. It was kind of a blizzard and very cold. I really didn't get to see a lot of Aomori. But I'd love to come back. It looked like a beautiful city. And it does get some of the most snow in Japan. Welcome aboard the Polar Express. Okay, all aboard the Polar Express. Aomori, Japan. It is cold here. It has been like a blizzard all day. Ooh, took a digger. I warmed up pretty quickly on the train, especially with the help of some of this Nagori unfiltered sake I got at the train station. It was awesome. Oh, that was good. 197. That is the fastest I was able to record on the phone while I had the app open. I did see 199. This morning I had to go to the airport, but there was a couple of things I had to see before I left Tokyo, especially the busiest crosswalk in the world. World's busiest intersection, pedestrian crossing. Next time I'm in Tokyo, I'm going to get on the hop-on, hop-off Ho-Ho bus. Okay, getting back on the monorail, this time I noticed that there's a red and a blue line. The blue line is for the next train. The red line is for the one after the next train. There are different ones.
東洋ポイントへおいでのお客様はホーム中ほどの階段か一番後ろのエレベーターをご利用ください。お願いします。
This is Haneda Airport Terminal 3, NO8.
Well, back at the Tokyo Haneda Airport. Had to go visit the Delta Sky Club, get some awesome food. I had some great sushi and some Tokyo ramen. Everything was awesome. I love the Delta Sky Miles Club, and I love getting some great shots of the Haneda Airport. Also, I was very happy that I upgraded my ticket to a premium select so I get the extra legroom for the long flight back to LA and then on to Orlando. I was kind of disappointed that I had to take a bus to get to the plane. That was a minor inconvenience. I had a great trip. I had a great flight back. And if you like this video, I hope to smash that like button and subscribe and be a member of Rixtrips.